Hello. Okay. Well, I believe all it takes is the press of a button, and I should be good to go. Let's see what happens. All right. Let's make sure that this is let's make sure this is going up live. And so far, it does not seem to be going up live. Is it working? Okay, so far, it's funny. It's like it seems to be. It's funny. Okay, so Ashley, maybe you can actually point me in the right direction. Okay, Kyle says I'm live. I don't see it. It's really funny. It's not. It doesn't seem to be happening on the Twitch channel. But you guys are replying on Twitch, it looks like. So is there a reason why it's not showing up for me on the Twitch channel? I feel like that's kind of an odd thing. Yeah, I did try refreshing actually. Well, if you guys are seeing it, maybe I'll just go ahead and I'll just start talking about what I'm going to do. So, just to be able to, it might be paused. I'm not sure I understand that, but you know, we'll just we'll pretend that we do. But it says it's live on all 3 platforms, so we'll just say it's good. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Okay, so this is a very unique project and a unique opportunity. I'm just going to go ahead and start by saying, you know, thank you for having me, Pixelogic. I'm excited to be starting on this new adventure. Yeah, this, let me see, I'm getting messages from the Kyle, so I will be checking on those. But yeah, so a little bit about me. Okay, I'm Steven Anderson. Hey Oscar. It's so funny, you guys are all seeing it and I'm still not seeing it. Oh, I think it's working. It's working now. It's working now, guys. I feel so happy and fortunate. Okay. Anyway, so the thing that, so I guess a little bit about me. Okay. I currently work at Walt Disney Imagineering. I do essentially 3D concept work for ride visualization. So, and this is for Disneyland Tokyo. Really, really fun, exciting job. And yeah, just a pleasure, just all around, just super great. Primarily using Maya, and I'm getting them to load me into ZBrush so that I can start actually producing things super quickly. So yeah, it's a pretty good idea for a diner. This idea for the diner was actually by Renee Michelle Bates. She's a friend of mine I went to school with. You can see her website. In fact, I'll go ahead and I'll send you the link to that. dogs. All the dogs come to the yard. So there's a link to her site, which is pretty cool. And it's got a lot of other links there too. Okay, so currently I'm working at Walt Disney Imagineering, concept modeler, and I just finished up a round on How to Train Your Dragon 3 with DreamWorks back in March. That was a really fun adventure. Before that, I had opportunities to do everything from furniture modeling for Crate and Barrel. I worked as a character artist at Warner Brothers Games. I've done a whole bunch of other freelance and fun things like that. And I've also been teaching at university level for the last 3 years. So really, really, really fun. I really love ZBrush. I can't put it down. Yeah, variety. Yeah, that's I try to be a jack of all trades and master of most of them. Because, that's just how you live. So this is a project that I did actually a little while back, and I've just always loved this diner. I've loved this project, and I wanted to go back and be able to develop it further. So when I was talking to Kyle about being able to possibly stream for Pixelogic on the Twitch channel, on your ZBrushLIVE channel, for all you lovely, wonderful folks, one of the things that he wanted to know is if I'd be able to do something similar to what I do at Disney, which is very environment heavy. And, because of the proprietary nature of everything happening there, I can't really go into what's happening there, except that I'm using digital software to create awesome stuff for rides. But an idea came to me because I'm really passionate about character and stylized modeling and things like that. And so I asked him if it'd be okay, since nobody is doing environment stuff on the on ZBrushLIVE. I asked him if it'd be okay if I'd be the first, and he said okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through, I'll be starting off by developing this guy out. Well, not really, I don't really have to do a ton on the model. I'll actually be going through and I'll be building out the design. As you can see over to the left of the screen, I hope I'm pointing in the right direction. Down there. Down there, I've got Avon. Got a really cool image. This is the image of her concept. Along the bottom we've got the kind of full image to kind of show more or less what's in there. There are a bunch of trees in the foreground and stuff too that we'll show later. I'll probably put the picture up in Spotlight at some point. So you'll just be like overwhelmed with all the beautiful thumbnails of this single piece. This is going to be just a great exercise. We'll be able to go through and talk about all sorts of stuff, everything from alpha and alpha usage. I figure I'll go through and I want to learn how to make fiber mesh, and so I figured it'd be a great opportunity to be able to learn how to make my own fiber mesh for things like the hey Brett. And so I figured we'd go through and make our own fiber mesh for things like the grass, be able to go through and do a lot of hard surface modeling for things like the vehicles, or even something as simple as that wooden sign, that little marquee out in front. Fiber mesh, yeah, it's tough. It'll be fun to go through and figure all that out. I'll probably go through for the fiber mesh and I'll learn. I'll try to buy some cool resources from Pablo Munoz, who actually lives out in Australia. And we've got Australia represented right now, it looks like, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. I'm just going to go ahead and start with the basics, because you know that's what you do. Okay, so as you can see, I mean, I've got a bunch of subtools in here already. Okay, and everything has topology. Okay, and you know, you can see there are parts that need fixing, which, you know, yeah, I'll go through and I'll do that at some point, but I won't do it all right now. Right now I'm just going to take this and treat this as if it's a blocking. Okay, so what I want to do, so I mean, you see we've got this, we've got the collar, we've got, yeah, and the collar includes the chain, I guess. We've got the vent that's back here on the back. Okay. Now something that's fun, I mean, this piece was originally modeled inside of Maya. Okay. And then I was able to use, I modeled this back at the time when I was first learning ZBrush. And what was fantastic for me is I was able to go ahead and I was able to create my topology inside of Maya, because I had no idea how to do it inside of ZBrush. And then I was able to use ZBrush to be able to tweak and refine all of my main forms and things like that. It was really, really helpful, and I'll probably still go ahead and tweak and refine some, like maybe figure out how to bring more appeal into this arm, things like that. Got steps going down. They look like they're probably pretty alright. I'll probably rebuild them though. Most of these things I'll go through and I'll rebuild. The door stuff. Okay, now it's interesting. I mean, inside, let's turn off the windows. So inside I've got the start of like the blinds, I've got the start of the stools, I've got a back door with a blind up over it, you know. I've got the front light, the front porch light, I've got hinges on the doors, really simple stuff, things that I may or may, yeah, no, that looks good. We'll probably keep it. But there are little pieces like this that have their normals flipped for some really weird reason. So, you know, easy enough. We'll just fix that now since I'm looking at it. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say flip faces. We're going to say island. We're just going to tap that. Super easy. I love ZModeler. I'm always using it. That's better. Okay, so let's come down here and get this one too, because we don't want to make the one jealous of the other. Okay, all these things that are working. Yeah, looks good. So let's see. A big enough printer for a restaurant. Have you seen those? The printers that they print in concrete. It's like this large arm, and it oh my gosh, it's like crapping out these this long tube of cement, and it's just building it up layer by layer like any FDM printer would. Ronnie, dude, Ronnie's the man. He's been a good friend of mine ever since before he became famous. Started working for Hasbro and stuff. Oh yeah, it's another thing that I do is I do toys for Hasbro, but only so often. Okay, so that's looking all right now. We got the stools. Oh, you have no idea how much I would love to have a castle in my backyard. You have no idea how much I'd love to have a backyard. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so now here's a cool trick. This is something that Zach Petrock taught to me. You might have seen the ZBrush Summit. I did a presentation with my mentor Zach Petrock. One of the things that he taught me, and you know, I use creasing all the time. It's a very, very useful tool, useful feature. Love it to death. One of the things that he taught me is that if you have the crease tolerance set up to 180 and you hit crease, boom, you don't have to worry about adding extra support edges or anything. It goes through and it creases any open edge. it is fan-flippin-tastic. So yeah, we'll put that there. Let's see, what do we have next? So we got this door frame, which actually has a bunch of support edges to it already. So I mean, it's, you know, with the dynamic subdivision turned on, it already looks good. Okay, let's make sure. We got the glass for the windows. Countertop blocked in. We got the blinds. We got lights. This is one thing that I am going to for sure want to fix. I don't know how it got to this, but my guess is that I carelessly had half of it masked, like this back half masked, and I hit subdivide a time or two. Yeah, it looks like maybe 2 or 3 times. Pain in the butt. So yeah, we'll go through and we'll rebuild that at some point. Not a big deal. Right? Alright. And that looks like that's the very last thing. You look like you're having a fun time with your keys there, Bont. Yeah, that home row keys. That's just time to learn how to. Gotta practice. Just gotta practice. All right. So what we're gonna do? Let's go ahead and let's append. Append. Okay. We want a plane. So it doesn't really matter what we get at first, because what I'm going to do, the butcher board. Why would I want a butcher board? That sounds kind of, I don't know. So I'm just going to come in here. Let's hit initialize. I'm going to turn perspective off. For this sort of thing, we want to make sure that we don't have our perspective turned on, so that we don't, you know, accidentally move our piece in a weird direction. Oh, is that what that thing's called? The butcher board is the A-frame sign out front. I'll have to. That'll be an easy thing. Maybe we can even get to it in this stream. Okay, so the things that I want to be able to get to. Whenever I'm teaching, I like to make outlines. So you can see there's that my very awesome outline. I forgot a step though, which is to start sculpting. So I didn't even get to show the website, because one of the things that in fact, there's the link to the website. One of the things I was having troubles with OBS today, which is the broadcasting software, was getting it to show my display rather than just showing. It was showing a single pixel. Go figure, right? Anyway, maybe I just need to check and see if there are any filters on it or something. We'll see. I'll get it worked out for next week. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to block in the ground, and then we're going to do that, the butcher board. Okay, let me see. Showing a single pixel. Okay, I see what you're saying. Hola, compadre. ¿Cómo te va, José? No, hablo español también, así que si tienes preguntas, vale, tíremelas. Like if you speak English or Spanish, you have questions or comments or whatever, I'm going to understand it. You might get lucky if you speak French or or Portuguese. Really lucky if you speak Italian. But yeah, English and Spanish. Okay, so blocking the ground. Maybe we'll do the butcher board as a little bit of like a Z modeler sort of stuff. Oh, you can't be from Puerto Rico and not speak Spanish. Come on, you gotta learn. It's a great language. I love it. All right, let's see. Perfect Spanish. Pero ¿cómo se llama el compadre? El de España, Marlon. Él se burla de mí, se ríe de mí. You're born in Florida. Okay, so you're born in Florida, but now you live in Puerto Rico. Is that accurate? Wow. You're born in Florida. We were talking about Florida earlier at work because one of the guys at work, he lives in Malibu. He has a house in Malibu. Crazy cool, right? Anyway, so he lives in Malibu. Oh, you live in Virginia. Okay, that's pretty cool. You can tell if you use Serra Roja. Oh, that's good. That's good. But yeah, Marlon Nunez, he makes fun of my Spanish because I sound different in Spanish than I do in English. Yeah, house in Malibu. So the house in Malibu, it was interesting because he's on vacation right now. I need to do something darker so that, let's just change up my color a little bit. He's on vacation in Florida, but all the houses around his, from what they told me at work today, like 98% of his neighborhood is burned to the ground, but his house is fine. So hopefully his house doesn't get looted while he's gone. Okay, so here's the ground. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, let's load in, let's import, get my, now this is something that is exceptionally useful. What happened? What happened to what? Did Florida bleed into California? How so? What do you mean? Okay, let's go ahead and kind of make this a little bit big. So you can kind of see from the spotlight, I mean, it's got the foreground elements kind of leaking into it. Ambiente con el jefe. ¿A dónde la viste? Yeah, with the neighborhood burning down and he's going down to Florida. So yeah, let's go to brush. This is important. So every time you go in, this chat thing is funny because it's floating right in front of my menu, and so I mean you guys can see just fine, but I can't. You gotta turn off that spotlight projection. Okay. So let's do a couple things. Let's do this too. I'm gonna write this in my to-do list. My handy dandy to-do list. You got to write on the to-do list the things to do. Okay, block in ground, check. Now, just to be able to block it in, let's see, let's say block in phone poles. And I'm going to also include the fence. Okay. One of the things that I like to try to do when I'm working on an environment, especially if it's not already figured out for me. I mean, I'm fortunate. Sorry if you heard that. That was rude. Something that's really useful is that I can at least clearly see off in the distance that there is let's open this up so I have a good high-res version to be able to look at. I can at least see things like the fence off in the background, and I can kind of see more or less size relations. And so that becomes helpful to me in trying to figure out how far away the fence is out in the distance, especially counting on the perspective being correct, which it's Renee, it's correct. So that'll be helpful, is figuring out, making sure that I understand where that is. Some of the things that I want to figure out includes where that what's over here in the very, very near foreground. There's actually, let's go ahead and hit save spotlight, just because it's a good idea. We're just going to say spotlight at 1, save that. That way I can go through and I can load it next time. I don't have to worry about changing anything. But here's something I want to do, is I want to add in, I have this other image. Okay, you see this? So this gives me more of an idea of what's around. Okay. Actually, let's go through, let's shrink this down. Let's say tile uniform, shrink it down, shrink it down. Okay, because that could be helpful to me, just to make sure. Brush samples, yeah, spotlight projection is still off. That's good. Okay. So what I want to do is, let's just go through and block this out. I'm gonna take actually, let's just take the ground plane. Let's rename it. Okay, I like to keep things named. Sometimes they get a little bit messy, especially if I get a lot of subtools. But I like to keep them named so that, in fact, let's take that space out of there. I don't put a space in there. I like to use what's called camel case, where you get these little humps, boom, boom, where you get the upper cases. Pretty helpful. Okay, so what I want to do, let's actually go ahead and say crease. Okay, that way we get our crease around the outside. Control D, just to be able to get a little bit of resolution in there. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and just kind of sketch it out. I'm going to sketch out a little bit, explaining about the brush samples. So yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. Let's what I'm going to do with this is I want to make sure that I have Z-add turned off and RGB turned on. Let's just go ahead and say color, fill object, and we're just going to go down to this black, and then I can go ahead and I can start sketching out. It doesn't have to be super high. I have a smooth voice. Oh, it was funny. So Ashley was on before I was. Cave of Wonders. Awesome. It's the Diner of Wonders. Yeah, Ashley was actually on before me. So if you go back and watch the replay, you'll be able to get some Ashley action, and she's awesome. And she's always fun to watch. So the thing with the samples, brush, samples, spotlight projection, what this does, in fact, let me show a little bit. So if I were to go through and I were to paint right here, okay, you see, like, I mean, on the image it's all blue, right? But on the background I'm getting just black. So now let's, just as a comparison, let's go through, let's say brush, we'll turn spotlight projection on. Okay, now we're painting, and now you see we're getting the color from the image. So this will also treat, like, if you have Z-add turned on, it'll give you some depth. So let's just to be able to show you kind of the contrast. You are awesome. Thank you for looking that up. I would have shown you on my image, on my screen, but I couldn't get the thing to work. So there it is. And now it's because I have the depth turned on, it's treating this as if it's like a grayscale, black and white image, and it's giving me my depth information off of that. So if I were to turn off my paint, let's turn this to something a little bit higher, you can see that it's got this little mound right here. Yeah, she has a GIF right there for you to be able to see the animation. It's super cool. I actually have the neon sign modeled. In fact, it's on my ArtStation too somewhere. It should be anyway. Yeah, there it is. Okay, there you go. Okay, so yeah, it's always hard to hit the people that you want to actually watch, and then you end up watching dweebs like me. Okay, let's get rid of that. So now what I need to do, let's just go ahead, and I'm just going to keep this in this darker color, and I want to start to an art pleb. What is a pleb? You'll have to explain that one to me. It's kind of funny. Okay, so essentially what I'm doing, I want to make sure that I understand dimensionally what's happening in this environment. So I'm going to come in here and trying to figure, okay, so in this, come on, scale it up. In here, it looks like maybe there's about, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 feet between the back of the diner and this fence. Plebs are low rankers. Hey, like me. Plebs unite. It's such a weird term. Where do you guys come up with this? Okay. Oh. Need to turn off the Z ad. Good night. What's going on? RGB's turned on. Brush. Let's just make sure. Oh, spotlight projection. See, so that's what happens when you have spotlight projection turned on and you're drawing outside of that spotlight area, because now I can go through and I can paint just fine. Flipping. Okay, let's see. Let's come over here. Let's actually erase this. Okay, let's come over here. So what's nice now is that having gone through and sampled this over to here, it makes it so that I can go ahead and I can, the male Ashley, oh boy. Yeah, my giant name tag is something I was able to get from work. It was fun. Okay, so this will help me to figure out kind of the dimensions of my environment, figure out where everything's supposed to be. Okay, and having the colors like this, having this background color as the same color as my ground, I can hold Alt and I can erase away whatever I don't want to have represented in that sketch. Alright. How many of you are part of the ArtStation challenge? How many of you are doing something with that? Is anybody doing anything? Anybody following it? Okay, so at this point in the illustration, I have no idea what's over there. So this is where I'm going to go through and start to make it up. Okay, I want to treat it as if maybe there's a road right here. Okay, let's turn perspective off again. Okay, got it good. I'm going to pretend there's a road right there. Okay, it's color, fill that bad boy. Okay, so that's going to be, so there's on ArtStation, you know, they do those art challenges every so often. And right now they have, right now they have they have a Japan, feudal Japan shogunate challenge going on, and it is super cool. There's some really cool pieces. Okay, so this is me just kind of sketching in, kind of more or less where I want things. Yeah, feudal Japan. Super cool. Tumbleweed. We do need some tumbleweeds. We'll get there. We'll get some tumbleweeds. Let me see. So over here, what do you guys think? With this phone pole, I think it's in front of the fence, but what do you guys think? Is that a dog licking the screen? It's kind of funny. Okay, so phone pole. I think I'm going to block it. Oh, come on. Let's bring it maybe right there. What do you guys think? Good. You're a good voter. Voting in front. You can stay. The rest of you need to go. Just kidding. I'm having fun. Alright. So over here on this side of the road, we need to make sure that we have trees we got to think about. Okay, so maybe this is the tree. Maybe not. I'm trying to think compositionally what could be cool. Oh, so the train, it's like a half-mile away. It's a half-mile, half-kilometer-ish away. It's really kind of crazy. Okay, you have the optimal opinion. You win. Okay, so let's see, these hills. That's gotta be too close, I think. Yeah, so I will be building the cars. The cars are something that I'll go through and I'll build over the course of probably a couple, 2 or 3 streams minimum. I have to go back and I have to ask my friend Renee what kinds of vehicles they are. I don't remember off the top of my head. This is an old truck. I'm pretty sure she said it was some type of Ford. Yeah, we need to do trash can in the back, things like that. In fact, we'll probably do a couple of trash cans. Let's take these small. We'll say that's like the pile of trash right there. A dog. Yeah, some of the entries for the challenge are insane. And it's cool to go through and see both sides, so to be able to see the visual effects side, the props, the video game characters, real-time characters. Super cool. Alright, real quick, let's go through, let's do this. This is a cool button. You know, if you go through and if you have, you know, like a ton of different little tools, different tools open, this is a really I am entering the challenge. Yeah, I'm on the VFX character side. It's pretty cool. That's a cool vehicle. I'll have to look that up. I might be able to use that as reference. So here's something that I really like to do. Every once in a while you're working and you have to duplicate things, you have to work on clones, you have to open other tools, whatever. So one of the things I like to do is I'll select, if I wanted to clear this out, I select the one that I want to keep and I hit R up here and it renews that whole section. It closes out all the other tools and I'm starting back fresh with just this one. It's really cool. It's really nice. It really keeps, because like every once in a while ZBrush will quick save, it'll auto save, and when it does that, it saves all those tools in that Z project quick save. And so since I don't like to have super heavy files bogging down my computer's memory, it's a great way to be able to yeah, Leslie the stud. Yeah, he's really good. Super nice guy too. It's funny. Where's everybody from? How about you weigh in on where you're from? How many people do we have from the States? How many people do we have from South America, from Europe, from Africa, from Asia? You know, let's see. Let's see who all we've got here. We already had somebody weigh in from Australia, so let's see who else we got. See where else we have people represented. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take this, I'm going to hit clone once, okay, and I'm going to say initialize, say Q cube. Oh, I need to get rid of the, okay, initialize, cube, Portugal, sweet, big ol' United States, India, cool. Oh, I need to turn that back on. Europe, what part of Europe? Whoa, I don't even know how to pronounce your username. The Bob I'm Kid. More India, this is cool. Argentina. Che bueno. Alright, Fresno. I've never actually been to Fresno. The cube, the Wonder Cube. I will not model a Rubrik's cube though. Okay, so right now what I want to do is I just want to generate, oh, not that. Okay, so let's generate kind of a fence. Macedonia, holy cow. Or is it Macedonia? I never actually, never asked. Do you know Donna? She's another streamer on here. She was the champion. She's super cool. Let's just kind of come in here, figure this out. So we've got, get a little fence in here. Okay. So now I'm only going to create one section of this fence. Okay, I want it to all be one polygroup, so we can go through and create our tiling brush. So let's go through and do this. Do I paint too? I do paint. Are you talking about like digital or acrylics or you know, painting my models, texture painting? Create insert mesh. We'll say new. Right now I'm working on making a fence. Okay, this is just to be able to block it in. Okay, so I've gone through and I've created, of course you do. Alright. Okay, so right now it's just this. Now let's make it a brighter color. Okay, so right now it's just this, but I want to make it into a curve brush. that I can go ahead and draw along this. Get the feeling your answer is you do all of them. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm going to go up here to curve. Let's go to curve mode. Curve step, I'm going to leave that at 1. Yeah. Let's check this. Yeah, that's good. Donna is from Macedonia, but I'm not sure which area. I'd have to ask her. I'll text her. See if we can get like a live response. Let's see, Donna. Okay, what part of Macedonia are you from? Okay, so I'll let you know when she responds, and then I'll let you read it because or I'll have to like type it in. Okay, so you see that now we're getting a fence, and we didn't even have to do anything for it. Yeah, so anytime that you can go through and use, in fact, I should go through and get a little bit of overlap. So let's say underneath the curve step, let's say 0.95. Let's try that. Skopje. Oh, she says it's a small country. It's not, so that's not cheating. She's asking if I'm streaming now. I'll try to like put it on the do not disturb. Not because I don't want to get messages or anything like that. I just want to make sure that they come in quietly. Cheating. I can't believe you'd say I was cheating. Did I say that all right? Skopje? Okay, I don't like how that's coming across, so let's go through and let's change this. Actually, it's 0.975. Okay, I'm actually probably going to want to even make it so that it goes down the road too, but we'll draw out another one for that. So we'll just kind of somewhat follow that. And now I gotta kind of compare to the reference a little bit, just to make sure that that is looking all right, size-wise. Shape-wise, I'm looking back at this now, it's like I've got to do a lot of tweaking to make sure that this looks right, because it's not quite looking right. Like things like the positioning of the eyes, things like that. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll make it look good. Okay. So, got that. If you start dragging out your curve brush and then you start holding shift, it'll actually start dragging out a straight line. If you're dragging it around, something that has volume, pardon me, around something that has volume, like an arm or a leg or something like that, tree trunk. It'll wrap around it. Once you've gotten past the outside edge of Alright, yep, we are live. Alright. She said she just got back from grocery shopping, so yeah. Okay, so I think we're good so far as that goes so far. What I want to do right now, let's do this. Okay, split it off into different polygroups. And what I'm going to do now, let's actually go ahead and say subtool. This beginning process is much slower than oh hey, look at that, there's the fence. Okay, let's put that on top. Okay, ground plane main. In fact, it's one of the things I really appreciate about the latest versions of ZBrush is that you can use underscores. Ground plane secondary. Okay. Let me see. Ground plane road. Okay, and then, you know, obviously we're going to go through and, yeah, soon we'll be able to use folders. Yeah, that's something that so many people got so excited about. It's funny because I was talking to Paul Gabery recently, fairly recently. It was during the Substance days, and he was like, I can't believe everybody was so excited about folders. I mean, it's made me laugh. Anyway, I'm going to duplicate this out just so that I can have a version with the paint, and I'm not going to worry about keeping the paint on this. So let's go color fill object. Actually, let's turn that off. Okay, so what I want to do now, we're going to start, I'm just going to go ahead and start using Sculptress mode. This is one of those things that's extremely, extremely helpful because, as you can see, it only tessellates where you need it, where you're using it, right? So if I start using my clay buildup, I'm getting sculpted detail, but only where I need it. And it's not, I'm not having to go through and wait for Dynamesh to remesh, things like that. Organizing subtools became a thing. Oh, I bet chat went crazy when the Gizmo came out. I went crazy when Gizmo came out. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I do a lot with the Gizmo, but I still use the transpose line a lot, which is kind of old school for some people. So right now I just wanted to go through and kind of pull out some ground section where maybe people park a lot. It might be too powerful. So the model will strictly just like, it's just an environment that I wanted to finish. It's something that will be, I don't want to do that. It's something that I've wanted to finish for a long time. It's something that'll have production ready topology, but for right now I just really wanted to just do something fun. Scenery, not the art station contest. Right, so so this is something that's, I mean, it's going to have final topology and everything like that. Right now, obviously, it doesn't. But whatever. Trying to keep it somewhat. You're just really trying to rough up the ground. Now, there are all sorts of ways that you can start. In fact, maybe what I ought to do. That's funny. Okay, let's say split the parts. So this is just an interior wall. This is something that I want to keep maybe up here. This piece is garbage. So let's see. Let's just go ahead and let's make a new one. Let's hit initialize. I do this all the time. Just cube. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Let's turn off our perspective. Make sure that we're going down. We can go through the plane. It's not a big deal, I guess. Okay, now here's a cool trick. I'm scaling up and down, right? Now if I'm doing that and hold Alt, it'll scale out in all the directions. What you said? Okay. Okay, so now this is where I'm going to start using a lot of ZModeler. Okay. How are we on time? Okay. Okay, then let's actually turn off our sculptress mode. Anytime we're doing anything hard surface, unless you're sculpting it hard surface, you want to have sculptress mode turned off. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go ahead. Let's say polygroups. We're gonna group by normals. And what we're going to do, let's say extrude polygroup island. Okay. Now if we just hold it like that, it's not going to do much, but if we hold shift while we do it, we can get this control over making it go up and down sort of deal, which I really like doing, obviously. Okay, let's say we're going to push this in using that same thing. Okay, just that extrude thing. Okay, and now I want to go ahead, let's say bevel, edge loop complete. We're going to say 2 rows. The reason why I want to say 2 rows is I want to keep this center edge. So if I bevel that, it's going to give me these cool 23 hours until Oscar's stream. It's true. I technically don't have a cap on when I have to stop, except for the fact that my beautiful corner office is my bedroom. So, you know, we created just for fun, not be used for anything specific. Correct, yeah. So it's not really anything that's you know, being built for, like, it's not for a project, it's not a freelance thing or anything like that. If that's what people are asking. And I might sound like Sean Connery because I work with a few people from England. Every once in a while there's a word that slips out with like either an intrusive R on the end, or it might just be that Sean Connery is my dad and he's secretly masquerading as Steve Anderson. I don't know. It's just kind of okay. I'm gonna bring this in, bring that. let's see. Gonna add in a loop there. Okay, so, oh snap. Let's change my masking type to mask lasso because I use that a ton. Okay. Let's go ahead, center that, make sure that that's not rotated, so hold Alt and hit that rotate button, and we're good. Oh, I wish I could do a Scottish accent. Man. The Scots are something fierce. My mom actually grew up in Scotland. You are a saint. Yep, remember to save. Okay, we're just going to save over this one. Okay, so right now I want to try to figure out where my where the inserts, I guess, will be. Okay, I'm just gonna, let's see, let's add in a loop there. And here I'm gonna use QMesh. I'm gonna use a single poly, and then look at that disappear. So simple. Growing up in Scotland makes you tough. Yeah, no, I can't do it. Good friend of mine in the hospital right now down in Long Beach. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to go and visit him. You might have heard of him. Steven is the artsy one. He wanted an actor and got an artist. We're all a little European, aren't we? So yeah, my friend down in the hospital in Long Beach. You might have heard of him. His name is Chris Lee. Okay, real nice guy. And you know, he's suffering from a neck injury that has him paralyzed from the neck down. He can't do much anymore. He's this super talented guy. However, one of the really neat things is that his spinal cord is only bruised. So the hope is that he'll be able to recuperate some of his mobility and be able to get his magic fingers working in 3D again. Really, really nice guy. I actually met him for the first time in 2016 when we were in the sculpt off together. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's say polygroup, polyloop. Okay, now watch this, that orange line, that's what's key. That orange line is directional. Okay, so you hit that, and it gives me that beautiful, beautiful color all the way around. So nice. Okay. So now we got this going on, okay? That is a much better base than the one that I had. The only thing that I have left to do now is let's do this. Let's insert single loop. Oh, but back to the theme of my buddy Chris. He does have a GoFundMe. I've posted it several times on my Facebook. So if you can, yeah, it'd be great. You can go give it a look, share it with all your friends. Oh, so mask, edge loop partial. Okay, watch that. Messed out just that edge loop, and I was able to revert that. Deformation. Inflate. This is just a cheap way to get a bevel without having to really worry about the bevel going in the right place. Let's see. Let's make sure that this is not going down too far. Inflate. Okay. Might have gone too far. I can probably just tweak these. Okay, let's go ahead and pull that. Now let's see. How much of it is showing? Okay, so what we can do, we can take, let's do this, okay. This is gonna be fun. Okay, let's go ahead, let's say delete single. Yes it does. It does indeed. Yeah, the windows, that'll be something that I'll have to play it by ear or something, I don't know. It's oh shoot. Okay, we're gonna go through, delete some of these, and just delete that one too. Okay, and let's bridge that, but first let's actually go ahead and use my move transpose. Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll actually build it so that it's going in instead of simply being there. I wonder if that's why I'm having those problems. Yeah, ZModeler and bevel and bevel. It's a super fantastic way to go, but sometimes it gets a little bit tricky in keeping it uniform with like different tight corners like this. And so, you know, one, I like to keep it low poly when I'm working as long as I can. Two, I like to make sure as much as possible that that I preserve the shape, the form. So one of the things I like to make sure that I do is that I, well, you know, keeping it low poly, I can go through and I can control those. I can control the flow. Okay, so real quick, let's say, let's insert single edge loops. We need to do the same on the bottom. And then we're going to say bridge edges. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, let's say QMesh, single poly. Okay, now you can see that extra face on the backside. Ooh, transparent materials, yes please. It gets tricky when you're sculpting, I'm sure, but they do have a way to be able to do it at render time. If you look up Pablo Munoz, he has some cool render techniques and whatnot. I'm pretty sure there was something about glass in there. But anyway, so you can see that there's this red face right here. That red face is a product of having extruded or used the QMesh, and we've got to get rid of it, or else it's going to create artifacting. Same thing with these side faces. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to switch from QMesh to delete a single poly. And I'm just going to go ahead and delete these side faces. And then let's slide these together. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. Happy little edges. Okay. be something like that. Okay, so now what we want to do, let's go ahead, let's insert single edge loop in here. Let's make sure that we've got no masking. And let's just bring this out so that it's got the same type of bevel. We're going to make sure that that's something like that. And we're going to change back to bridge. It's all fun. All fun and games. Okay, you see this? So now we've got this. I forgot. I was like, that's not the shape I was hoping for. What is wrong? Okay, we're going to insert a loop there. Okay. Because the thing that I want is to be able to bridge here and here, because I want to get more of like a flow that's kind of going around. Okay. So let's check to make sure that we understand what we did on top. Change my Z intensity, turn off RGB, change my Z intensity down to something a lot lower. Now I gotta check and make sure there isn't something because it's like this one point does not seem to want to move. It's sealed up. That's one test. Stephen Bob Ross Anderson. Have you guys seen the yeah, the ghost mode's different though, I think. But I don't know. It'd be something that'd be interesting to see happen for sure. Because I know I can't count the number of times that I've wanted to use a clear material. Yeah. It's tricky. Okay. So I don't know what is causing that to be such a pain in the butt, but epic rap battles history. Oh my goodness. Good night. Why won't this smooth out? That's going to keep me up at night. Okay, maybe not that bad, but okay, let's kind of pull this around. Okay, so with this we've got Donna's here. How you doing, my friend? How are you doing? Yeah, right? Okay, let's go ahead. Let's add in. How are the groceries? Did you meet anybody weird? Okay. I'm excited to see what I do too. let's go through its insert. Tell us about groceries. Okay, let's stitch these 2 points. Yeah, what did everybody have for dinner? It's always a good subject. We ate out tonight. It was fun. Well, we ate out, but we kind of ate in too. My son had fallen asleep. And so we just decided I'd take my daughter with me, and we'd go pick up food. And so, you know, she had candy and fried chicken. Holy crap. Oops. Insert. Okay, so we have these I can bridge down now. I'm just trying to get these filled up as much as possible. Pizza is sometimes a good choice. It depends on where it's from. Okay. Pizza. Burritos. Yeah, well, obviously. Obviously. Good pizza is always a good choice. Oops. Yeah. It's funny, I'm surprised that you didn't like that, that that pizza that we had at the whatchamadiggits at the Substance Day. Experimental and garlicky. That'll keep the vampires away. Alright, let's do this. Okay. Just hit Control W to be able to polygroup the whole dang thing. Yeah, I probably would never pay for it either, but I don't know, it wasn't bad. Did you really think it was that bad? Chocolate covered garlic, what the gross. Are you even listening to yourself? Right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, you've been watching too much Twilight there. Oh, hey, look at that. That needs to be filled in. So let's go ahead. Let's insert. Unless we can just get rid of it. Yeah, we can just get rid of it. That's fine. Okay, so far so good. Never been so insulted in all your life. I'm glad I could do that for you. No, really, I mean, there are good things, I guess, you know, that you can take away from it. You're funny. You're funny. Okay, we're gonna put that as kind of our base, and I think we're going to leave that the way it is for now. Save. Don't forget to hit save. When you become a vampire, you become very sexy. When you start using ZBrush, you become very sexy. That's what it is. You get to eat blood. Oh my goodness. Well, so I mean, if you eat somebody who's from somewhere other than where you are, do they have the different taste, different accent? Oh, I don't want autosave every 5 minutes. That really like delays the workflow. It's funny because like one of the things that I mean it's insane. It drives me absolutely bonkers. Oh, let's do this while I talk. Okay, crease level. I'm taking it down to 2. One of the things that drives me absolutely bonkers is when autosave is too frequent. When I'll be in this absolute groove. Hey, Brendan. When I'm in a groove, and then all of a sudden it decides to do an autosave. It's just like, oh my gosh, come on, really? I would imagine blood taste varies by how much metal you have in your blood. So if I have steel, or if I have aluminum, or if I if I have gold. Oh boy. Macedonian showdown. Alright. So now, yeah, pizza blood. Love it. Let's do this. Okay, so in fact, let's just for the sake of keeping this brush. Okay, this is the fence brush that we made to be able to make the fence. Okay, to be able to block in the fence. What I want to do. That's probably true about having mercury in your blood if you eat a lot of fish. However, I suspected it would have a lot to do, like, with where the fish is from. But anyway, I digress. So this fence piece. Well, first off, let's come over here. Let's rename it. I'm gonna have to totally like rebuild this. But maybe I'll do that at a different time. Let's do it right now. Fence blocking. Let's call it that. Okay, now let's go ahead. Brush. Okay, create insert mesh. Append. Okay. And I can come over to this. Brush. Delete. Okay, so now I'm left with just this one piece. But now I've got to go through and I gotta turn on. So curve mode's good. Got the stepping right. Okay, let's. I didn't have to do anything else though, I don't think. So the tastiest of all the metals. I need to start holding a water bottle here with me. That'd be a good idea. Be a really good idea. Okay, so now that I've got that, let's go up here, brush, and we can say save as, and we're going to say SMA fence blocking. Okay, so now I've got that, and anytime I want to use it, it's in that Lonnie folder, that Lonnie's Bulldog Diner folder. Alright, so now what I can do, because I mean the reason I came over here, let's actually hide the reference for a second. What did I come over for actually? There we go. The butcher's board. Like a salt lick. So when I was growing up, one of the things that I did as a job was I took care of horses, and um, yep, yep, it's very true. Yeah, the theme always turns into food. I turned in, but when I was a kid, I used to work taking care of horses, and one of the things that they had were, they would have these salt licks, and Pixel Rabbit, you're a real person with like actual responding, like commenting powers. Amazing. Alright, let's come over here. Let's center that, center this. Okay, so let's block in this this board. All done. Just kidding. I was hoping somebody would find that funny. So in taking care of horses, they would have those salt licks. And if we wanted, so I mean, it was okay for them to have that, but a lot of them would go through and they would chew on their door, on their stall door, and such a pain in the butt. One of the things that we had them that we would have to do is we would rub soap on the door, on the spots where they would chew, and that would be enough to go through and make it so that they stopped chewing on those pieces. Good at censorship, how so? Yeah, I have to keep moving, so... Get up and wiggle like a horse, but not on cam. Yeah, nobody wants to see that, right? Alright, so let's do this. Let's go ahead, we're going to say, let's turn on symmetry. Okay, let's hit extrude, single poly. And then if I hit control while I'm extruding that out, it gives me this floating piece, okay? This entirely new piece of geometry. Well, it is a pain in the butt. Yeah, so we're gonna do something like that. And actually, let's split it. Split to, let's say split to similar parts. Oh, they all got the same verts. How about that? Okay, let's say. Come on. I didn't even think about that. Split hidden. That works. Okay, so some of the things that I want to keep in mind. Okay, let's do this. Let's go auto groups. Turn off symmetry. I'm going to make sure this is at a 90-degree angle. Bring it in. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. I don't want it quite touching. And then let's bring it down. Yeah, no, I'm going to keep all of the standing and stretching off camera per professional request. Let's go mirror and weld. which is nice because it gives me that center edge. Okay. And then, since we're missing some creasing, let's come over here, let's crease that. That'll give me creasing. I like to put it like around, between 45 and 65 if I'm working with some pretty straight angles like this. Actually, let's go ahead, let's uncrease all. Okay, so now watch what happens. So we've got these, you saw what happened. I had this crease in the center here. I don't want that. So I'm just going to go ahead, uncrease all. Okay, and if I have this tolerance to 45, it'll go through and it'll crease anything that's pretty much like a right angle. Anything that's greater than, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's anything that's greater than a 45-degree angle. Which is why the 180 degrees will go through and it'll crease the open edges. Okay, and then since we have that, we can go through dynamic subdivisions, turn that up. Oh, we gotta turn the crease down to 2. Let's turn it up to 3 actually, and then we'll turn this to 4. Yeah, that's not working as well as I'd like. Yeah. So that's one of the weird things that's happening. You can see like I don't have enough edges in here, and so I'm losing volume on the ends. So we'll just not worry about dynamic right now. Not a big deal. See you, Bob. Yeah, next week at 8. Actually, Adele did not teach America. It's all about the bass. That was Meghan Trainor. I don't know how I know that, but whatever. Okay, let's go through. Let's make all those the same polygroup, and then let's extrude polygroup all. Okay, I just want to bring it out a little bit, and then let me see. I'll probably work on these pieces individually. So let's go split to parts. Okay, so let's say frame top. Let's just do this. 3, 1. We need this to go up 1. We need this to be frame 04. And this needs to be frame 2. This is very true. Very, very true. Okay, so here's something I want to go through and do. Okay, so I want these to be 45-degree angles. I want them to kind of, or angled so that they're matching up. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this. No, it's just I wasn't straight on. Okay, we're good. I'm just going to move it over until it matches up with that edge. Okay. So if we zoom in here, we can see it's still a little off. Okay. Actually, what we might end up doing, let's take, did that not work? It totally doesn't even have my symmetry. Oh my goodness, I'm so bugged. Alright. So let's go ahead, mirror and weld. That way we we get our nice angle right there, a nice taper. Okay, actually, let's go ahead and just say delete. We're going to take this and we're going to say mirror and weld, because that's what we do. They are talented. No, actually, that's like, let me see. That's probably the one song I can think of hers. But whatever. Whatever. She's talented. She's good. Alright, let's take this. And let's scale it. So the reason why I want to do scaling with this one, oh shoot, is because it's going in the up and the down direction, and I just kind of wanted to make it so that it works. One of the things that I could do, it totally infiltrates your mind. Okay, one of the things that I could do is underneath transform, I have the option of being able to go ahead and do all sorts of directions of symmetry. So I could turn on my Y symmetry and it'll work in the same direction. Okay, so if I were to hit center on that, I could do this, and it's working in the X and in the Y direction, which, you know, could have been easier. Sometimes you don't think of these things until after. Now we can go ahead, now we can play. Bring it so that it more or less lines up with that edge. Now we're good. Now we have this frame that's kind of built out. Now, the thing that I want to go through and do is I want to kind of inset this so that it's so it creates a little bit of a lip here. You know what? I'm going to do kind of fickle in the way that I want to actually build this out. Let's go through, let's do this, let's do a slice curve. This way we can add an edge loop through everything, all at the same time. That, and it gives me new polygroup, everything. It's nice, I like it a lot. Okay. It's still titled fence blocking. Okay, so let's go ahead, we'll retitle this to what did you call it? Butcher board blocking. Okay, so for this, I'm just going to keep that there, just to be able to keep the name. Word base. Okay, so now we got to figure out kind of how we're going to make this into a thing. Twice the fan base, huh? How do you figure that? Okay, so the idea of this piece that I'm working on right now is, so remember in the concept, there's this right here. Okay, so this, I mean, this is something I'm just trying to get blocked in right now. And I think that I'm like way overcomplicating myself. But, you know, what do? Let's come over here. Let's go to, I'm trying to think. It's like it's been I've had a headache all day. It's been a fun day. Okay. Nope, I don't want that. Okay, so we're just going to polygroup all those. It's one of the things that I kind of wish I could control, is that when I hit polygroup by normals or group by normals, that it would allow me to like that, like if it had different pieces, different meshes within the subtool, that it would keep pardon me, that it would keep the, you know what, this is where we're going to want to turn on our symmetry. I've learned my lesson. I think I've lost my thought. You don't want to wake up at 3 a.m. Do you have a job where you have to start that early in the day? Okay, actually, let me see, because this, I'm actually liking. Which corner do I like the best? Let's keep this corner. Okay, so with mirror and weld, I've got this option to be able to mirror and weld in different directions. So I'm going to do the X and the Y direction. Look at that. Deformation, mirror, mirror and weld. That makes sense. Okay, so now we've got all four corners are the same. Okay, so now might have to go through and actually let's do this. Okay, we're just going to invert that. Let's go back and let's turn on symmetry, but turn off the Y direction, because that's a little bit too much for my liking. Okay, we don't need these extra loops anymore, so we can get rid of those. Get rid of those. Oh, actually, let's drag this over. No, come on, scale. There we go. Okay, what is the most exciting? Let me see. My thought about ZBrush's saving process. If you have a perfect mirror enabled, does ZBrush only save half the model? Nope. I doubt that it's that smart. I doubt it's that dumb. Could you imagine that though? I mean, if ZBrush were to only go through and save out, let's try on local symmetry. If it were to only save out half of your model, I would be frustrating to me. It'd be so super frustrating to me. Okay, so we're going to call that good for now. There's an extra something kind of on the top. That's something where I'll have to go through and make a new image to be able to share with you guys. Ooh. It's like the chair that I have at work. It's awesome. Should get one of those someday. Okay. Dining for those off the leash. Okay, so yeah, I guess I do have a picture actually of what it says on the diner's windows. It says carryouts, and then it says ice cream cones 5 cents. Oh. Looks like you already got it. Lonnie's Bulldog since 1948. 24 hours, coffee, dining for those off the leash. Okay. The sign, that extra little sign that we were talking about, or that we're working on currently, it has an extra funny little thing up on top. Okay. Man. Yeah, she sent me a better image, so I'll probably go ahead and get like close-ups of different things that I need, like the vehicles and things like that. But for right now, don't need that super a whole lot. Okay, so don't need that a ton. Let's go like this. Let's go Q-mesh, single poly. I only want to go in as far as it connects to that middle point there. The blue plate special. It does indeed, the blue plate special, Lonzo burger. What's a Lonzo burger? I have no idea. Okay, so here's something interesting. I can come over here and hold Alt, paint that down so it's this single poly group for a minute. Oh, didn't want to go all the way down though. Something like that. Let's go QMesh, the poly loop. We'll just pull that out into it. Not a big deal. That way it's just in there. I want that to have a little bit of an overlap, just because it feels more natural to me. At some point, because this is just blocking in, and because I wanted it to have clean topology, I mean, it doesn't have things like, you know, I won't put in the nails yet, those sorts of things. But I will at some point, and it might even actually become something that I do just in textures. I don't know. I've been going through and learning some things about Substance Painter and Designer and things like that that really help to push that process. But yeah, I really want to try to learn. Maybe I'll just, you know, model it in. Maybe I'll just model in the different screws and things. Okay. So for this, let's actually go ahead. Let's merge down. Let's make sure this is like that. We got that. And then let's go over here to. Wait. I love how you're over there looking up the different pieces, the different vehicles. Not only is it cool, it is helpful. Okay, so far this is kind of what this is looking like. Let's make sure that this is in the position. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and change my mirror to the Z direction rather than the X direction. Okay. Google Images is addictive. It certainly can be. Okay. Oh, you know what? There was a piece that I forgot. So, instead of fretting a whole lot about it, here's what I'm going to do. And this is going to be super cool, so just, you know, don't blink. If you need to blink, do it now. Let's go ahead, let's do this. Ah. There we go. So now I have got blinking is for the weak. Sounds like it needs to be a bumper sticker. Okay. So there's a little block in for our sign. And this is all a single subtool. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's just come over here to our new scene here that we're starting to build out. We'll say subtool, say append, board base, and look at how big that is. Okay, so let's turn off our symmetry. We don't we don't want to move that part. Oh, I hit append, so it'll be at the end. One of the things that I find helpful is making sure that the scale is not so different. You know, I think that I totally lost my train of thought. I do that way too often. There should be a poll for how often you're allowed to completely lose your mind. Okay, something like that. Wow. Okay. Let's go ahead and do something like that, and then, well, here we go. Okay, you guys, let me see. Should I bring my sign in tonight, or do it before trainer of thought? Oh my gosh, I'm never going to escape making trainer now. Should I bring in the big neon sign? Should I bring that in tonight, or should I bring that in between now and next time, and then or should I bring it in next time? I mean, technically there's nobody else going after me, so I could do it now. It shouldn't take too terribly long. I do have to open up Maya to do that. But I mean, that would be a quick thing of, in fact, let's, Dante. That is a cool name. Yamato? Holy crap. That is a cool name. Dude, my name is so just simple. My name is so, like, ordinary. You got this cool name like Dante Yamato. Well, good. I'm glad to have you here. First time here, and my first time streaming on the Pixelogic ZBrushLIVE Twitch channel and everything. It's a lot of firsts. You guys are great. Okay. So let's see if I can go through and names are all on how you say them. Steven Anderson. Why would I use a red wax? Yeah, let me see. It's been fun having you guys here. Yeah, red wax is a meme here. I'm trying to remember. Well, it's funny because it needs to be an emoji. It needs to be an emoji. Somensi or Somensai. How do you say it? From Brazil. Tudo bem? Strangely enough, I actually had somebody that used to say it like that. Thanks, Dante. Okay, let's Let's see if we can get. Okay, let me see. Window capture. Add existing Maya main. Okay. That's not Maya main. Oh my goodness. Let me see. There we go. Make sure that if you do have questions that you ask. Okay, so my frame. Oh, thanks, Daryl. Hi, my cheese. What? I'm not even sure who that is. That's a great name though. My cheese nacho. Let's real quick. Let's go ahead and see. Oh my gosh, people still call me Mr. Anderson after the Matrix movie. It's like, it's the thing that I'll never get away from. Because I mean, it's my name. Okay, Lonnie sign. Oh my goodness. Maybe I have a ZTL actually. Let's transition back. Interesting. I'm going to have to look around. Modeling. Wow. That's my favorite book, actually. Green Eggs and Ham. Wow, where is... Now I gotta find this. This is driving me nuts. I mean, I know that I have this sign somewhere. Lonnie's Diner. Lonnie's Diner. CG is empty. Wow. Let's hit delete. Let me see. Okay, delete. Okay. So your name's Ignacio. Oh, I think I might have found it. Sign 20. Red wax on a plane, in a train, in Spain, in the rain. Sam, I am. Yep. Okay, let's cut that. Bring it over here. And paste it here. Okay, now we can do this. Okay, let's It's so funny how that works. Oh my goodness. For Pete's sake, okay. Okay. Now we can go over here. And we can say, alright, let's transition back over. Because now we've got the sign. So now what I want to do is I want to export this out so I can get it over into ZBrush so that way we can block it in. Okay. I feel slightly happier now. Alright. It's not too terrible. Alright, so let's select, export selection. Actually, let's just go ahead and select that. Is there anything else to it that I maybe don't want? Oh, I don't want a rotation at all. So let's break that connection. Yeah, it's got everything in this. Wow. I don't know why. Oh, I know what those are. I don't need them though. So let's go ahead, File, Export Selection. Yeah, let's just say OBJ, that's fine. Okay, now back over into ZBrush. Okay. Can't make it so fast on Maya. What are you talking about? Okay, there we go. Come on. Okay, now we gotta wait until ZBrush decides to work. Man, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Let's quit Maya because I don't need it right now. No, I'm not bad-mouthing Maya. I'm just having troubles getting everything else to work, which is kind of a pain. Okay guys, I'm gonna have to like quit my ZBrush for a second because it is not responding. I see what's going on. Oh, that was a stupid mistake. I had my load Z tool window open. Does anybody know, is there a way to make it so that when you hit save ZTL or either like any of the save or the load options, is there a way to make it so that it always stays on top? It's like if I were to like change to a different application and I had that thing open, had that window open, is there a way for me to, when I jump back over to ZBrush, that it doesn't go to the main window, it goes to the main window with the load or the save window on top. You know what? This is a bit of a bug. It seems like whenever this happens, yeah, it's like I can't get it to reopen. Oh well. I've had it happen before, and I just have to go through and restart the computer. So I mean, it's not a huge deal. Yeah. So. Oh well. But you know, for next time, I'll go ahead and I'll have it. Actually, I'm blaming Kyle for this. Yeah, it's definitely Kyle's fault. I'm glad that you know this. No, poor Kyle. So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll load that up, and then next week it'll just be there, and we'll take a look at it then. Probably split it into different panels, things like that. So it's unfortunate. Oh well. So hopefully we can get this all sorted out. And it's really just a matter of restarting the computer and then just starting ZBrush up again. What a pain. Oh well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I mean, it was really great. We got over 90 people during this stream. So fun to have you guys around. It's fun to be able to chat with you guys, and hopefully next time we can go through and have something more exciting to share. Now that we're starting to get things blocked in fact, let me go through and check out my list. So we were able to do the blocking for the butcher board. We didn't do the blocking in for the phone poles, but we did do the fence. Okay, so so here's the thing. On my Instagram, if you look me up on under Smartest, SMA Artist, when I'm going to put up a poll, what I want you guys to do is I want you to kind of vote on what it is that you would like for me to do on the model for next week. Okay, so poll for next week. Oh, if my handwriting can actually like cooperate with me. So yeah, head over to my Instagram in like 20 minutes and take a poll. Okay. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Hey, ZBrush Core does some good stuff too, so good deal.